If you clicked on this video, you probably already know who Kobe Bryant is. But here's the short list. 5 NBA championships, 18-time All-Star, 15-time All-NBA team, 12-time member of the All-Defensive team, the 2008 MVP, and a 2-time NBA Finals MVP. An all-around bad man. But how did he do it? And maybe more importantly, how can you do it?
So let's find out. Cut it. Kobe Bryant.
The 1996 NBA draft was an exciting one. Young prospects populated the field like Allen Iverson, Steve Nash, and Ray Allen. But all the talk was on an even younger prospect, one that would revolutionize the macros of basketball, the 17-year-old Kobe Bryant. The Charlotte Hornets chose Bryant with the 13th pick of the 1996 draft. He was traded to the Lakers shortly thereafter and became the second youngest NBA player in history when the 1996-97 season opened. He quickly proved his merit with the Lakers and was selected for the NBA All-Star game in just his second season, becoming the youngest All-Star. Bryant was forced to share the role of the Lakers star player with the popular and talented teammate Shaquille O'Neal. The two had an uneasy relationship, but they found success under the leadership of Phil Jackson, who became coach of the Lakers in 1999. Bryant, a shooting guard, and O'Neal, a center, meshed into a remarkably effective combination, and by the time Bryant was 21, he began winning championships. Bryant is widely considered one of the best to ever do it, and since he's one of the greatest of all time, there must be something unique about him. Curry can shoot, Jordan can win championships, and LeBron can switch teams.
We just want our respect.
Kobe, on the other hand, had something called the Mamba mentality, an undying desire to succeed in whatever it was he did. Written in Bryant's best-selling book, The Mamba Mentality: How I Play, he outlines 5 pillars to his mindset: passion, obsession, relentlessness, resiliency, and fearlessness. Although these pillars do live at the center of Kobe Bryant's mindset, I developed 3 rules that I think, if fundamentally lived by, one may begin to cultivate a mindset akin to that of the Black Mamba himself. In Phil Jackson's foreword written for the Mamba Mentality, Jackson writes of how, upon showing up to the practice facility, he would usually find Bryant napping in his car after his pre-practice workout. Bryant had already worked out before anyone even showed up. This, along with other stories, gives us a glimpse into one of Kobe Bryant's fundamental rules: outwork the competition. Let's take a look at Kobe's famous 666 workout for the off-season. Named so because Bryant trained 6 days out of the week, 6 hours a day, for 6 months of the year. The 6 hours is further broken down into 2 hours of track work, 2 hours of basketball development, and 2 hours of weightlifting. Further breaking down each of these units, Bryant's track work would consist of HIIT training workouts like sprints and jogging, while his basketball development workouts consisted of 10 minutes of defensive slides followed by an intense 90 minutes of shoot-around. He shoots from 5 specific areas of the court, executing 10 shots from each location before moving on to the next one. Before shooting from the three-point line, he usually begins with mid-range shots. He also works on turnaround shots, post-up shots, pivot jabs, footwork, and layups at the end. This shoot-around is then followed by a weightlifting session, which is a blend of traditional weightlifting and Olympic-style lifting. While the former increases muscle strength and stamina, the latter focuses on explosive movements and high verticals. Now, this is a lot, I know. You may be asking yourself, how in the hell does any of this apply to me? But it's not the substance we should be paying attention to. It's the structure and the volume. In Kobe Bryant's book, he says, "I never thought about my daily preparation. It wasn't a matter of whether it was an option or not. It was, if I wanted to play, this is what I have to do. So I just show up and do it." When you are deeply committed to excellence, showing up isn't a struggle. You don't need to cajole yourself into doing the work because it simply is. So for excellence, structure seems to be a running theme. Jordan Peterson once said, "If you don't know where you're going, how the hell are you supposed to know how to get there?" In that exist 2 things: where you're going and how to get there. Excellence is where you're going. Structure is how to get there. Now, if your dream is to become one of the greatest basketball players of all time, I just gave you a blueprint. But what if it's not? You may think Bryant worked on everything, and eventually he did. But as a rule, the first thing he would work on were his weaknesses. This illuminates his next rule: attack your weaknesses. Bryant once said, "If I wanted to implement something new into my game, I'd see it and try to incorporate it immediately. I wasn't scared of missing, looking bad, or being embarrassed." High-performing athletes don't shy away from improving their weaknesses. They don't ignore it because they aren't good at it or prefer to avoid the frustration that comes with developing a new skill. They view weakness as strengths in waiting. Your day should be structured so that you are attacking your weaknesses. Now, if you're a 65-year-old man with arthritis whose dream is to write an award-winning movie script, I'm almost positive that gymnastics is a weakness of yours. Do not, I repeat, do not run off and start attacking your weakness of flexibility, because your bones are already brittle enough. The weakness has to be relevant. Sticking with the 65-year-old man as an example, allow us to imagine a golfer that wants to improve. He would work on the weakest part of his game, putting, chipping, or maybe his foot wedge. Whatever way he can get the ball closer and more accurately to the hole. He wouldn't, in contrast, work on his overhead throw, no matter how weak it is. Excellence is where you're going. Structure is how to get there. Weaknesses are what you use. In Bryant's appearance on the School of Greatness Hall of Fame podcast, he talked about a man he called Yoda. This was an 83-year-old man in charge of teaching Kobe Bryant the famous triangle offense. And what's the best way to learn? By watching.
If I'm Jason Tatum, I'm looking at ways to improve my game. I'm really good at posting up. I'm really good in isolation. I'm really good at creating opportunities.
Yoda and Kobe would sit with a VCR and a TV watching the game that was just played from start to finish, pausing and going in slow motion. However, the analysis didn't end there. Bryant was also watching how individual players played, their favorite moves, favorite foot, how they interacted with their teammates, what they were like before and after the game, how they dealt with hard defense or soft defense and open shots, did they prefer playing off the ball or on the ball, which side they preferred, so on and so forth. I promise you this is a fraction of the list. This highlights our next rule. Kobe Bryant always remained a student of the game. Spoken by Bryant himself, film study eventually becomes imagining alternatives, counters, options, in addition to the finite details of why some actions work and others don't. Kobe Bryant was an intellectual who just happened to love basketball. He spoke multiple languages, wrote a bestseller, won an Oscar, and beyond all else was an amazing father to not only his own children, but kids without a male role model in their lives who hung his poster on the wall. His legacy doesn't end at accomplishments. He will continue to provide us with a blueprint of excellence, and his influence will continue to be felt long after other superstars' names are spoken for the last time. I'm Will. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.